Michelle Scott is a wonderful young lady who embodies all the qualities we hope to find in our students. She has maintained a perfect 4.0 grade point average while participating in a long list of extracurricular activities. Yet her eyes tell the story of a young person who has endured one of the greatest pains of all, severed family ties.
Can you tell us about the hardships that you've had to overcome in your life?
Well, it's been a number of things that I've had to overcome, starting from, me finding out now, my mom that I grew up with for years wasn't my real mom, being put out of her house, having to go stay with somebody else, having to deal with, new attitudes, new relationships, moving, traveling, seeing a lot of stuff, hearing a lot of stuff, being told a lot of stuff, criticism, whether it's constructive criticism, whether it's bad criticism, had to hear it all. I was also managing to keep my grades up, stay focused on what matters as far as sports, my schoolwork, working, having to get a job, a number of things I've had to overcome.
Talk about that day. I think you touched on it, but talk about the day that your hardship that you described actually kind of came to a head, or it was something that was right in your face that you had to deal with.
The day I remember back in October of 2009, I still remember the day like it was yesterday when I got put out of my mother's house because, we was going through a lot of stuff. We wasn't, I kind of was offish, not really talking much. When we moved from Savannah, things kind of just went downhill with our relationship. She put me out because she wanted me to go to Job Corps because she felt that if I didn't want to be there, then that was my only option, only place that I could go. And I refused to go there because I felt that my grades, everything I worked for, it would have just meant nothing. That's how I felt. It meant nothing to her for her to make me want to have to go to Job Corps, So because of that, it was a big, disagreement. She got really upset. She put me out, and I was hoping that it would, she would cool down, it would die off, and she'll let me back in. But unfortunately, I was wrong. So I had to go to a friend's house. Lucky for me, his parents were kind enough to let me into their home and take me in as their own. And then, to my surprise, she didn't bother to come in and see, if I was okay, even to try to even get me to come back home. I thought she was, but she didn't. And, they went to court for me, got temporary custody of me until I was 18. I saw her in court, but she didn't see me. And that's when they found out then that I was adopted. But see, I didn't find out till this past summer, that I was adopted. That I have a different father from my sister and brother. We have the same birth mom. Our birth mom was, she wasn't a stable person from my understanding, I've never met her. I've never met my real dad. I was put in foster care at birth from my understanding as well. And my adopted mom, she adopted us when we were very young. When I was real young, when she was married to the guy that I grew up calling dad, that's who I knew as my father. But apparently that was my adopted dad as well. They both adopted us, and I just I don't know my real parents, and I haven't talked to my adopted mom in almost 2 years. Haven't seen her, I had no kind of contact with her. She talks to the lady that I stay with, Miss Keith. She talks to them, talk to her, but I haven't heard from her.
What advice would you give to other kids? Because you could have easily made the choice to drop out of school.
I could have, and I had several opportunities to do so. But my advice to other kids that's in the same situation is not to give up. I mean, it's so much more out there than to give up. You have to think about the big picture. You can't just live in the moment and think about what's going on right then and there. You have to think about the long run, not just the short run. You have to take in consideration your grades, the people that you hurt, yourself. You're disappointed. You're going to disappoint yourself if you give up. One thing I've always had was determination. And the word that I live by is adversity because I overcame a lot of it. So, keep pushing forward, maintain your grades because it will matter and it will get you in the long run, and it will benefit you.
That's amazing. So who again are the people who've helped you out on this journey?
Although she put me out of her house, she still cared for me. She took care of me when nobody else would. She took me in as her child. So my adopted mom, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Keefe, who I live with now. Teachers, other people who's looked out for me, giving me advice and stuff. I, give credit to anybody who's given me advice and helped me along the way.
So you are also involved in some of the extracurricular things here at school. What are some of those things that you do?
I do morning announcements, which is that room over there.
Okay.
And what you do, morning announcements at Beta Club, NHS. I ran cross country. I finished first in the South Metro District, so I actually got a trophy for that. I run track. Season's going on now. Because I always had a strong mindset, not to give up, stay strong, stay positive. Always keep a smile on my face, because a lot of people never knew that I've gone through, was going through as much as I was going through, because I hide it.
How important have academics been to you? Because it's my understanding that you have a very high GPA, and I'll let you tell me what your GPA is so I don't mess it up.
My current GPA is a 4.0. Wow. And my academics is very important to me. I used to cry when I got a B. A low A, I'll cry. Yeah. But it's very important to me. I, make sure I stayed on my work. When it came to testing, make sure I studied to get a good grade. Because tests really, is what dictates your grade, your overall grade, because they take a big percentage.
You're an amazing person.
One word best describes Michelle's story: extraordinary. What she lacks in size, she more than makes up for in heart and courage. Now let's see how she fares in her Hanging with Dr. Hendrix Sports Challenge. Her competitor is another longtime friend. She is best known as Granny.
How you doing? What's your name again?
Michelle.
Well, who, what, when?
Michelle.
Michelle Scott. All right, that's a pretty name. Mm-hmm. You grow much?
Do I grow?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you do. You been that size your whole life?
Not my whole life.
Oh.
Just until middle school.
Okay. So we're running track. All right.
Well, technically the court, but...
Court track. Track and court. Traffic court. Either way it go, let's run. Wait, so let me stretch. We're going to run down there and come back.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's
Dr. Hendrix will be your new friend. He's rocking hard on channel 27 station. Okay, students, where's your motivation? Jonesboro, Lovejoy, Riverdale, Morrow. Success start today if you want success tomorrow. English, math, science, don't forget history. If you're down with academics, channel along with me. Yeah, channel along with me. Yeah. Down with academics, channel along with me.
Ooh, you saw that? You saw that? You saw that? The Holy Sprinter. That's my name. Holy Sprinter. Say go.
Go.
I came back that quick. I'm so fast. Ooh, I'm so fast. All right. That's enough for me. I'm going to go sit down. Give me a Gatorade. Woo.
Thank you so much
You're welcome.
for joining us on Hanging with Dr. Hendrix. You are an amazing person. Your story is going to be amazing for other people to hear. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Very
you.
proud of you, okay? All
Thank
right.
you.
And next, we'll be visiting a young man at North Clayton High School who also has a very amazing story.